You're listening to Overseas Dreams.
Yes, sir. It's your boy Poetic Zae kicking in here with the very own unique, no place like this Overseas Dreams radio show. Kicking it with my girl Melody. Melody, what's up?
What's going on? That was perfect. I just want you to know that was great.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hey, it only took 3 takes, but you know they say the third time's a
Man,
charm,
you a
so we got
professional.
it.
I don't even know why you acting like that.
I don't know about
you
a
a
professional.
whole professional. That's right, world. I got your boy, Poetic Zae. This is Overseas Dreams, the best radio show on Earth and in space. This is show 42, and you are my fourth poet?
Okay, shout out to being number 4
On my poet series?
Top five.
Top,
You know,
top
listen,
five, that's right.
I'm. It's an honor, really. You know, and yeah, really just the platform that you set in, and I already know like your presence you have throughout the community. You know, I'm really just not only a fan of you, but a fan of this platform. So really thank you for allowing me to be here.
Absolutely. So, please tell the people who is Mr. Smooth Poetic Zae, because we know he does things so poetically.
Yeah. Smooth. Wow, me and smooth. Those are the words you're gonna use to describe me. Okay. Poetic Zae is bold, is fearless. Poetic Zae also always sees an opportunity. Like, Poetic Zae believes in must society sees faith. Poetic Zae is a visionary. And also Poetic Zae is like kind of has this dual personality. Like Poetic Zae is a visionary, but also an execution. Like he also makes things get done. So really like Poetic Zae is all the things like sometimes Isaiah can't be. I think like over the years and probably still till now, I'm still like cultivating who I want Poetic Zae to be, and not just like who people want Poetic Zae to be. So I think like on the spot that I am now, and I'm continuously growing. Like that's really important to me. Like defining the type of artist and more like specifically the type of man I want to be.
So, it's funny you say that because I remember at wordplay one day.
What you remember?
You said something in regards to the kind of poet you want to be and not the poet that people want me to be. You were saying how I don't know if you put yourself in a box or somebody else put you in a box of being a love poet.
Yeah, I did say that. When I first, cause Fayetteville was one of the scenes that like I really touched poetry in. Like I did poetry in college, but it was never to the level of like it was when I got to the scene in Fayetteville, and I had never competed with poetry before either. So like the Detour Slam team was one of my first scenes of poetry, and I know like coming out of college and like not really knowing what competitive poetry looked like all I knew was love poems. Like like my love poems hit in college, but
They hit now.
I mean, it's different because when you get to the slam world, it's like, dang, this crowd not going crazy over this love, all these love bars, and it's like you have to have like a different a different level to it. Like you can still be in the same element, it just has to be a different level. And I think that's what I took from it, and it made me realize that I was capable of experimenting with other elements. Like I could still be in love but still be vulnerable. I could still be in love and still be angry. I could still be love and and express different emotions and they still be in love. So but yeah, when I first touched the scene, I think I did do a lot of those love poems. Like people start classifying me as like, the Love Jones, like Darius Love Hall type poet.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But I knew like personally, I just had a lot more dimensions in that. So that that was important to me to give what I already had on the inside and express it to people around me.
Okay. See, I'm
That's crazy that you remember that though.
Absolutely. I remember it because I felt that way in that moment. And it wasn't even that people were putting me in a box. I was putting myself in a box. But see, that's a box that I think I'm okay with. My very first poem was about a crush. So I ain't new to this. I'm true to this. I just been sticking to the script. I could write about other things. Right. And sometimes I feel like I need to prove that I could write about other things. But I'm no longer in that space, at least not right now, because when I was trying to force myself not to write about love, I couldn't write at all. And this was just a few months ago. And I was mad. I ain't know why I was mad.
You gotta use that though. You gotta use that though. Because I think I've been through that with a lot of in my writing, like a lot of phases where I felt like I had to prove that like either these people or the place that I was in, right? But I was like I had to prove them wrong, but it was like it's never about proving anybody wrong, but just proving myself right. Because I know I have it in me. I just gotta bring it out, you know.
I don't mind being a love poet.
Listen. I don't mind being a love poem in me. It's gonna be in me forever.
It is what it is.
Like nothing hits like a love poem does. I don't care what nobody say. Like to me personally. So
listen, y'all, this man inspires me so much. I ain't never told him this, but you are like my love poet superhero.
I'm sensei over here.
Like for real though.
Wax on for the love poem.
Get up there, and I'm just like, right, like.
Listen, when you experiment enough in love, and that's a thing. Like a lot of people love, but like love is all the things that like you don't think love is too sometimes. Like, and a lot of times like we wanna just take love and put it in a box. We wanna constrain it but love is a spectrum of so many things, and that's just what I love about love. Honestly, it can just be so many things in existence so many times. So, and love is like the most powerful thing, but it's also like the most vulnerable thing, and they coexist with each other.
Love Jones, y'all.
That just gave you more evidence to
like
your case,
just
huh?
super Love Jones vibes for real.
You know what?
Lorenz Tate, all of that. I don't think you can escape it though.
Who am I? Oh man, you know, fool. You know, I'm gonna act right.
This is exactly why I want. No, please don't act right. Act foolish. I'm a fool too. I just never am a fool on this show, so they might get a different version of me.
Okay,
I don't know. We'll see.
You know,
we'll
don't be me.
Please do.
Be me.
Absolutely. But yes, thank you for coming on.
Most definitely.
I knew for a fact I wanted to get you on here.
Yeah.
I was like,
I remember. I want to say the first time you told me about it was in Winter Bloom.
It was a while ago.
Or it was
I might have given you too early notice.
It was either Winter Bloom or Art Meets Life, because I remember it was like months ahead, and you were like, "Yo, I got this date in December. I want to get you." Wait, first it was supposed to be in November.
It was.
It was supposed to be in November.
It was,
and then it got moved to December, and I was like, know what?
Because I knew I was interviewing LJ, and I was like, okay. I don't want.
Y'all go check out that episode too.
Absolutely. That's show 40.
Shout out to Bicep Bowens, you know.
But yeah, I was like, I don't want to do anybody immediately after LJ, and then it's crazy because I like right after I uploaded the audio for that, somebody hit Zoe, episode 41, hit me up on Instagram. It was like, yo, can I get on your show? And I was like, you know what? I ain't heard nobody.
Hey, listen,
and
I had told you then, and I stood on that. Like whenever you needed me, I was gonna be there, and because I definitely wanted to be a part of it. Anything you're an extension of, I'm trying to be connected to it, just because of how you represent yourself. So, yeah. Most
don't get me all sentimental lawyer, man. You better stop. But yeah, man, I never forgot about you.
Yeah.
There was times I was like, man, I told him too early because he probably thinking, when is she gonna get up with me?
Nah,
I never forgot
you
about
come
you.
around.
When it comes to overseas dreams, like I have things planned out. Especially like with the poets, and so like you weren't even in the back of my mind. You were like in the middle. So yeah, I already knew I was gonna get you on.
Hey, man. Well, I'm like I said, I'm happy to be here. Honestly.
So what made you start writing? When did you start writing? Don't be telling me 3 years old. I'm tired of people telling me they've been writing since they was out the womb. Like that makes me feel some kind of way.
All right. So I was 4 years old. Nah, I'm joking. Honestly, my memory, I don't have the best memory. I don't know what that's due to, but I really don't. Like, I literally have, like, childhood photos of me just throughout phases of my life, and I have no recollection of. Like, I remember the first time, I remember when I was, like, 15 or 16, me and my dad had an opportunity for us to go to Disney World. And I was telling everybody I had went to Disney World for the first time. But I had already been, like, twice before and just didn't remember it.
Oh, wow.
I know, so I say that to say...
And that's a huge moment.
I know, right? But I say that to say that my earliest memory of me writing was in 4th grade. Danny Phantom. Oh. It was right. Doing Danny Phantom used to come on Nickelodeon. It was an episode where Amber is playing a song and she hypnotizes everybody with that song. It's like, Amber, you remember. I said, Amber, you will remember my name. And they're like, Amber, Amber. Anyways, so she writes that song and she's just hypnotizing people over and over again. And for some reason, that song just can't get out of my head. And throughout this time, I'm like going through like elementary school beef with my friends about secrets and stuff. So I write this poem called Secrets. And it's in the same tempo. And it's like, secrets are the worst ever. Because you don't know, like, they might be about you. And that was the poem. So that was my first time that I actually remember writing something. And that was it. And then ever since then, I was just always writing. Like the household that I grew up in, my dad retired in 2017 after like 30 years of active duty service in the military. So my house, I really wasn't allowed to have a voice. So I think like unconsciously writing gave me that without me knowing it. So I'm always been like committed to this pen and this paper. Like, yeah. So that's why I write.
Though. That's crazy. You didn't ever like reveal any of those secrets in that poem, did you?
No.
I was just wondering, and that's why.
Exactly, and
you
it's so
failed
crazy.
that math test, and ain't nobody know about.
Exactly, and it's crazy because like you probably realize through this conversation, a lot of things that I probably talk about or say are like the things that I don't write about, and it's crazy because like I'm very open to my writing, but it's just like the things that I don't know, the things that are regular to me, you know. They aren't regular to other people because, you know, people, as an artist, people want to know you. They want to know your story. You know, like as an artist, the moment you touch a stage and between the moment you leave, people want to feel like they know you personally. Like, you know, like they know you intimately. You know, that's how they want to feel. So.
Okay, I can relate to that.
You know, they don't, even as an artist, when you go see other artists, you just don't want to see them go up there and do their work. You want to feel a connection. You want to feel like they reach into the crowd and touch you personally. Exactly.
So it's kind of weird. It's a double-edged sword because I guess like, yeah, when I'm sitting there and somebody gets up there like, yeah, I want that.
Yeah.
At the same time, when I'm up there, I only want to give you what I want to give
exactly,
you.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, yeah.
And it's like, I think being an artist is to be that, to like live in two different worlds, you know? Because it's like, no matter what type of artist you are, there has to be a moment where you come off the stage. Like, you know, like whether you go from like someone local in your area until like a great like Michael Jackson, you know, like I think about that video where Michael Jackson's like, I hate touring, you know, like that's an offstage moment, like that's a human moment, you know, like, but as an artist, like of course you love the tour.
Right. That's okay. So that reminds me, I can't even remember, maybe it was Dope, my Dope poem. And I said something like, the audience can never get from me what you get from me. They get my life, but you get my intimacy. And I never realized what that even meant until I was talking to my therapist about it, and I was just like, wow, that is quite a, you know, two different kind of things.
Right.
Yeah. I'm glad you put that in words for me. Like now I have it in words.
I mean, poets have a way of doing that too. Like I love when a poet stresses me out. Like I love when a poet has wordplay that I'm just like, oh, like they're insane for making these comparisons. Yeah. Like I love that.
Keith is like that.
Yeah, Keith is like that. Keith, Nick is like that too. Yeah.
Oh, and since we're talking about Keith and Nick and LJ and all these people that you may or may not know about, if you are in the Fayetteville area,
yes,
go to the Facebook page, Poetry in Fayetteville. It
Most
lists
definitely
pretty much every event you could think of, whether it's an open mic or a slam, a workshop, whether it be an in-person workshop or online. Yes, Poetry in Fayetteville on Facebook.
Most definitely.
Yes. So, I know you don't, well, I'm not going to say you don't want to be considered a love poet. How would you describe your writing style and your performance style? Because you have a style about you. One, you're a storyteller.
I'm definitely a storyteller. I love telling a good story. I love the elements of storytelling. Like, you know, it's like the oldest form of communication that we have. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how culture and tradition and history are passed down through the art of storytelling. So yeah, I love telling stories. You know, I love taking people through that journey, like through the mountains, through the valleys. Like I'm gonna take you there. You know, that's my goal. Like if I'm telling a story and you're not completely wrapped around this whole world that I'm building, then I'm not telling a good enough story. You need to be in like such a complete trance that you were like leaving your own reality and entering mine.
Sounds like a video game.
I mean, to be fair, storytelling is kind of like a video game, you know?
I could get with that.
You got to make your way through the levels. You got to follow the storyline, you know?
See, that's what I'm trying to get better at, is telling stories, especially with my love poems, because a lot of my love poems, I'm talking stories to people, though.
But that's an artist.
I'm not usually talking about somebody. It's only 2 poems I'm talking about somebody. That's Georgia and Florida.
That sounds like...
Everything else is like, I'm talking to you. You hurt me, or I love you, or something.
That sounds like the enemy of comparison. Because the same way I tell stories ain't gonna be the same way you tell stories.
True.
Now, but there's nothing wrong with like finding your comfort of storytelling, and maybe that's what you're still seeking.
Maybe.
Because it's like when you got it, like you got it. You know, it's like no one had to tell me. Like it's like when you write a good poem, no one has to tell you it's a good poem.
True.
Like you just know it. You could put it in a slam and it could score horrible, and you may be doubting yourself.
Yeah.
But there's a part of you, that still inside knows is like, nah,
that's true.
This is it.
And that's a weird space for me.
It is a weird space, but I think it's that ability as an artist though. Like there are different kinds of artists and different levels of artists, but when you're an artist and you seek to grow, you have to have resilience. You have to put yourselves in positions and environments where you do get no's. Like that's what I had some poets tell me. I had a poet that was well known was like, you need to go and compete with poets that you know are out of your caliber, because yeah, like you know they're out of their caliber, but at least you know what being punched in the mouth feels like. You know what a hit feels like to take from them. You know, like you looked at them as like, oh, I can never beat them, but it's like the next time you see them again, you like, oh, I know how hard you swing.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. I feel that.
Right. You know? I'm gonna take a lesson out of everything. I'm gonna never take an L, but I'll always take a lesson.
Yeah, I'm trying to be like you when I grow up.
Yeah. I mean, cause it's like Denzel said, I'm leaving here with something.
Right.
I'm leaving here with something. So
right.
It's like, you know, and I'm gonna leave here with a lesson.
All right, y'all be sure not to go anywhere. We will be back with Poetic Zae.
Hold tight.
About to get into this next track by Tinashe called Just a Taste, but y'all don't go anywhere. Y'all keep it locked.
Stay locked in. They say love is a drug. Well, I guess I'm her addict. Addicted to the dopamine she provides when she rides. She's a stallion, her hips move like the magic carpet from Aladdin. Love to watch her body blossom open like jasmine tea, relaxing. She calls me Mr. Fantastic. I stretch her body out in ways she never imagined. Connection like this isn't forced, y'all. Somehow it just happens. I think we should be together. You deserve a man that matches his words with his efforts, me. Don't your fine ass look better with me by your side? A man that never forgets to put you first and always compliments the ocean in your eyes. They say that only fools fall in love. Well, for her, I'll be foolish. Just want to be the reason she excuses herself from events with her friends, but never be the one to bring her excuses. I want to occupy the vacancy in her heart for own, not for rent. Treat her so good she forget the last dude she was with. But first, y'all, I need consent. Permission to air out my feelings long as she willing to let me vent. So will she? Will she say yes to my love, to this? Will she say yes?
Yes. Mr. Lawrence Tate himself. Where did that come from?
That was a collection of like 3 short poems that I wrote. Believe it or not, when I first started writing, I hated short poems. And I really wasn't even gonna do a love poem, but the fact that you mentioned me having that love element, it just felt like I had to just and I had to get that out, so it felt good. But
we had to.
it felt good though. It felt good. I wanted to do that, but that came from me just writing 3 little short poems. I used to hate short poems, and I met a poet, and he was just like, because I used to just write short poems and be like, nah, it's not good, or just never share it or anything. He used to be like, you rob people of that, like, he's like, you rob yourself of that as an artist. Like, you need to get to the point where you honestly believe that everything you create is dope, and you fall in love with it. I was like, that's real. So, it's crazy. Like, the shortest poems would be the ones who sometimes do the most for me. And all I did was take 3 poems and I just combined them together, and they just blended. So,
see, okay. Let's go back to trap and poetry for a second.
Oh,
because I knew that was I was like, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
How like, okay, so I've never combined poems before. That seems real convoluted. Like, how do you go about? Because I don't know how many you combined for that. It was probably about 2 or 3.
Oh yeah, it was about 2 or 3.
How do you go about that?
Okay, so when you perform, right? There are certain elements of your performance in your piece that get crowd reaction. It's consistent. You've performed that piece in multiple spaces, and you know that this area right here gets reaction. It's right. This is a guaranteed area, right? So if I'm in a space and that atmosphere matches the atmosphere of the people who would hype up that bar area, I would take that element or that phrase out and try to puzzle piece it with this complete piece that I'm gonna give you. And that's what I did for the Trap and Paint poetry. So I took the Biggie piece, but I know that there are certain elements of the Music Soul Child piece that crowds like that love, and to highlight myself as an artist, because when as a performer, when I'm on stage, like, I need every second to be like, I want to stress people out the same way I want to stress people out. And that's so, like, as someone who knows my content, you like, oh, this is wild, but imagine how someone who's experiencing me for the first time is feeling.
All right. Yeah, and they're not gonna know.
And they're not gonna know. They're gonna think they're gonna think that's my right.
Wow.
That's my average.
Because I was sitting there, I was like, wait a minute. No, I know that poem. And I know this poem too. Mm-hmm. Did he just piece them together? Did he bring another one?
But that's the element of being an artist in an audience.
Dope, though.
You know what I'm saying?
The fact that you know where to end one and start another is...
You just gotta... It's like when you know it, and can't nobody tell you what you don't know. And it's like those pieces like that, like, I know. I know them. So, yeah.
Of course, it helps to have stuff memorized.
It does help to have things memorized. Listen,
working on
everybody has their own tactic of memorization,
Yeah.
So you really just gotta find yours.
I'm still working on that. I think I've learned in my adult years that I'm a visual learner. So a lot of times, like, if it's a poem I know for a fact I want to memorize, of course, everything I write it down in my notebook first, and then I speak it into my phone as a note.
What color you write it in?
It's black.
They say if you want to remember it, I think it's write it in blue or red.
I don't have any blue poems.
One of those blue colors. Pens. I want to say it's red because I have a book of poems. I think it may be blue. Yeah, when you want to remember something, write it in blue.
Find me a blue pen, and I'm gonna do
it's
that.
Blue or red.
See,
let me know if it's blue or red.
It's gonna throw me off.
Let me know if it's blue or red, y'all.
Yeah, please. Blue or red. Hopefully blue.
Hopefully blue.
Red would be a little striking.
I don't know. I just know whichever color it is, it helps your brain memorize it. And I tried it and it works.
I might try that. Yeah. Like, so far, it's depending on what I say. Mm-hmm. I'll know what line comes after something else, and usually, like, it's in sections. So if I can rehearse it enough. Once I get up on the stage, I'll try to visualize where the words are on the page. And if it's front and back, okay, I flip the page over. There it is right there. And I can kind of that's my process right now.
Right.
I could probably come up with a better process.
I mean, no. Your process is your process. I don't think no one can tell you what your process is. Because I know, like, for me, my process is just repetition. Like, when I have a new poem, I fall in love with it. Like, I listen to it.
True.
You ever heard a new song and you like, oh, I love this song, and you play it non? That's how I do poems. Like, I don't want to listen to music in the car. I want to hear this poem. So,
okay.
Like, and it's like I have to keep saying it until it sounds the way I know it's supposed to sound. And a lot of times, what I had to learn is sometimes through repetition, like my brain will kind of try to make lines easier just because they rhyme. But sometimes, like, that's the easy way out. Like, the challenging way is finding it to work in the way I want it to without being lazy and just because the rhyming is easier on memorization.
Yeah.
But sometimes it needs to be harder in order for that bar to execute. You know what I'm saying?
That sounds like work.
It's always work, you know.
Like even when I'll put it in my phone and I'll read it back, like I'm practicing it. If I say something different than what's in my phone, I need to change what's in my phone to what I said.
Because you'll remember that.
Yeah. And a lot of times, like I told Keith this, if I write a real dope poem that I think is dope anyway, when I'm trying to go to sleep, I'm trying to go to sleep.
Right.
But it'll be in the brain. And probably in that moment, I could do it by heart. Now, when I wake up the next morning, probably not. But it's that fresh, I could probably at least attempt to do it without looking. Yeah. And then that's the thing. Like, a lot of poems that y'all hear, it takes me like at least a month to memorize them. Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, like before y'all have already seen, like even by the time like I'm sharing a fresh ink piece, I've already had it for at least a couple weeks.
2-week ink.
Yeah. I have to be comfortable enough to read through it too in order to share. Even if it's fresh ink, like I got to be comfortable enough to read through it.
True.
I'm a bit of a perfectionist too, so.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah,
I am too. I
you know,
can't even fault you for
so
that.
That's me.
Yeah, well, fresh. So my problem, and I don't know if this is a problem, but if you realize, every time I get up on somebody's stage, 9 times out of 10, I'm doing fresh ink.
Yeah.
And it's not. Well, I'm trying to get out of the mindset that people don't want to hear repeat poems.
Yeah, because who said that?
Nobody.
You know who say that? Poets. And you know what's crazy? You'll never please a poet. You got to think like poets don't even support poets.
That's very true.
Like, you know, poets drop books all the time, and 90% of their artists are not poets. Like, we do things to please other poets, but poets aren't the one to really point to. Like, it'd be the community. And to the community, when you their favorite, they love seeing you go up there and do that poem that they know, because it makes them feel inclusive.
That makes sense.
It's kind of like people don't go to people do, but majority of people go to concerts to songs they know. Yeah. Just so they can be like, oh, I'm singing along. I know this song. Yeah. You know?
And so let the artist get up to be like, y'all, I got a brand new song I want to showcase. Right. And be like, boo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, you've been in spaces where you see me perform poems that you've heard and everybody heard, but I perform it so routinely where it's like people can quote me while I'm doing it.
True.
And it may be 9 of y'all who are all heard this poem 50 million times, but there's 4 people in the room. They're like, oh my gosh, this Poetic Zae. This guy is, you know, and who am I there? Am I there for the 8 of y'all or for the 4 of them?
True.
You know?
True. Yeah, I think that's another thing. I remember after Winter Bloom one night, I was talking to 2 other poets and or 3 others, and it was like talking about the difference between, you know, who's in the room when we're performing. Are we talking to the poets? Are we talking to the non-poets in the audience? And I had to realize, like, I think my mindset is I'm focused on the poets, and that probably shouldn't even be my focus.
Because the poet's gonna critique you worse than anybody. When the people will really accept you as you are.
That's true.
Yeah.
My love poet superhero.
I'm just saying, like, especially when it comes to love poetry, like, you know how poets can be. Yeah. So it's like, nah. Like, and it's like, another thing too is like, if you have a nuke, then it's a nuke. You know what I'm saying? Like, if your poem is your go-to poem and it's fire every time, it doesn't get less fire. The only thing people can say is, oh, she got that one fire poem. Okay. It's fire though.
That's true.
Either write something better or shut up.
Okay, let me ask you this. That's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true. Let me ask you this. So, in your opinion, what constitutes as a slam poem? Because I be talking about how I don't have no slam poem. I don't have enough slam poems. People be like, yeah, you do. And I'm just like, I don't like that for a slam. I know I'm my own worst critic.
You know, and you're gonna laugh about this, but I've seen a lot of spaces and platforms where people ask that, like, especially on like Poet. When people have poems on and stuff, they ask them like, what constitutes a poem? Is it? And in my brain, it sounds like the same question is like what's one of those relationship questions like they're always asked like on a podcast, like do you think a guy should pay for the first date? That's that's what those questions sound like to me, because I'm just
gosh.
But first of all, I believe everyone lives in their own reality. We don't live in the reality. We live in our own reality. Let's start there. Everyone has their own perception and identity. So, but we also live in a world that like we want to put specifics on generalizations, which can be very complicated. Yeah. So it's like, to me, slam poetry is a spectrum of so many things. Like, there is not just one thing that is identified as a slam poet or as a slam poem. It is literally the complete user of the artist, right? So I feel like as artists, we all have material, and how we exhibit that material is representation. For instance, like, I can write and choose not to be a poet, right? But that doesn't make me less of a writer. And for that same thing, I feel like you can be a poet, and that can be okay. You can be specifically a slam poet and just not want to be a poet. Like, you can say you only write slam content, and who is anybody to tell you that you don't write anything different? So I think it's just perspective based. Like, you know, who am I to tell someone, or anyone to tell someone, that that's not a slam poem because it doesn't score well? Does that make it less than a slam? You know,
that's subjective. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
It's subjective.
Like, half empty, half full kind of question. That's how I feel.
I got you. I mean, yeah, because I've done now. Usually, I try not to slam with. I don't slam that often anyway, but I try not to slam with the same poem every time.
Do you enjoy it?
It depends on the atmosphere, the type of slam, what I'm feeling in that moment. I do enjoy it.
Like the art of slam.
Yeah, I do. I'm not a very competitive person. I think that's my problem. At the same time, I want to win. But for the majority of the times that I slam, it's actually not to win. It's just to push myself. Now, trapping poetry, I was trying to win that.
Man, who didn't want to win that band? But, yeah, I want to win $1,000 too.
The majority of the other ones, I was just kind of pushing myself. Yeah. But yeah, there's been a poem where I'll get, a 10 or something like that. And
right.
then in another space, I might not. It's
exactly.
Weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's in. Also, you have to realize that there's so many elements that contribute to slam. It's not just getting on the stage A, getting score B, sitting down C. There are so many factors, You have 5 judges that you don't know who they are, where they come from, the things they know, the things they don't like. And sometimes, like, I think the more I experienced slam, I was like, judges, their appetite changes throughout the slam. Like, like their appetite in the beginning may not be their same appetite that was in the end, and y'all have all these other factors. Then you have the factors of the other competitors. You know what I'm saying? All of these things are factors. Then we haven't even gotten to order or scoring. Like, all of these things play a factor that is represented in a score, So.
Have you ever judged a slam?
I have judged a slam. How
does that feel? I've just won, but it was a virtual slam, and it felt so weird.
Yeah, virtual is really. Honestly, I just judged a slam today.
That's right.
Yeah.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
So, today I did a high school poetry slam with Lost Voices Empire. Lost Voices Empire is a business founded by CEO Andre, better known as Suave the Poet, along with me, Poetic Zae, Nick, NDC Poetry, and Mr. Jeremiah Ashad. We're all members of Lost Voices Empire, and we really have a lot of things going on, but today we were part of a high school poetry slam where, like, high school students within the county got to compete against each other for a poetry slam, and yo, they came with fire. I was talking to them in the beginning. I was like, yo, y'all nervous? They was like, nah.
Oh my.
I was like, what? I was like,
Excuse
okay.
me.
But yeah, it was in the AIT building, so it was really dope. We had a stage set up, we had mics, and surprisingly, like a lot of their parents came through and supported too. We did 3 rounds and no one got eliminated, so it was fair, but we did have a first, second, and third place winner. We got them prizes, trophies, and stuff, and yeah, it was dope. They really came with that fire. This one girl, she ended up winning. She got first place, and we were asking her at the end, like about her writing and stuff. She was like, well, I first started writing when I was young. I did my first slam in 2nd grade. I was like, 2nd grade?
2nd grade?
Y'all doing poetry slams? Y'all doing poetry slams in 2nd grade? But when I tell you she was dope, I was like, for you to only be 18 and be this, like, you better. I know poets who you could probably beat them in a slam. Like, she had this one poem. Oh my God, she got 30 across the board. It was a red light, yellow light, green light poem.
Oh wow. Oh gosh.
When she hit the turn and she was like, green light, yellow light, red light. I said red light. Why didn't you stop?
Oh.
There was nothing else we could do after that. She had it. She had it. And to possess talent, and it's such in a raw form. Like, you can tell, like, she hasn't even had the time to curate it yet. And the fact that you can formulate your wordplay and the structure of your point like that, like, yeah, it was phenomenal. It was so crazy when she was shaking the whole time. But she pushed through it. All of them were, and we were just really give it credit. Oh, and as members of Lost Voices were there, we were also accompanied by the one, the only Alexis Lawson, Miss At Her Black Hand. She was also one of the panelists. So we were, the 5 of us were up there doing our thing. It was dope, and yeah, definitely something that we probably have again soon. So y'all keep a lookout on that. Any high school students in the region, you want to come test your pen and show people that you really like that, win a prize, a trophy, or whatnot, definitely be on the lookout. So yeah,
I'm still tripping off 2nd grade. Like,
yeah, 2nd grade poetry slams is insane. It's insane. It's really insane.
That existed
yeah.
below the high school level. So.
Right, but it was really dope though. It was really dope. They really came. It was also this one poet. He was there. His specialty was love poems, and his one love poem. It was really smooth. It was really smooth, and yeah. But I'm a generous scorer. I'm not gonna lie, especially because they were kids. Some of the other judges did not care though. They were handing out 5s.
Oh no.
6s. I was like, y'all are mean. I think the lowest I threw out was like a 7.4. I'm like, these are kids, like,
Yeah, that's true.
And we had a celebrity guest in the building. Letitia was there. Yeah, Letitia came through, and it was dope. It was really dope. It was dope.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
Yeah, I be trying to be in the community and whatnot.
Trying.
You
be doing. Don't let this man lie to y'all.
Listen.
He be in the community. He be doing stuff. He be doing stuff.
I be in the school systems teaching poetry workshops and whatnot. Listen, I'm. It's a lot of events coming up soon, so I don't know when this will air or drop, but definitely be on the lookout. There's a lot of events coming in that we definitely want to keep people updated about.
Absolutely. Y'all be sure not to go anywhere. We will be back with Poetic Zae.
Hey,
does
that's
it
me.
so poetically. Keep it locked. You are still tuned in to Overseas Dreams Show 42. Got my boy Poetic Zae,
yes.
who does it so poetically. I will never.
That's never gonna get
that.
old. Yeah.
Did you come up with that or somebody else?
I think Nick was the first
Nick
one.
always
to say
coming
that.
up with something for somebody.
Nick definitely. Shout out to my boy NDC Poetry. He was definitely the first one to come up with that for real.
He never fails.
Yeah,
that never fails. Always coming up with something.
Listen, Suave be having his quotes too. I don't know if they
Really?
appropriate for this podcast though, so we not.
You say whatever you gotta say.
Nah, I'm okay.
Listen, this is an unfiltered show right here. It's an unfiltered show. Y'all know how. Man, come on. The music I be playing.
Yeah, I feel that.
They know it's
I
unfiltered.
feel that.
But yeah, that's I like.
Yeah. Shout out to my team out there too. Shout out to Swallow the Poet. Shout out to NDC Poetry. Shout out to Jeremiah Ashad. You know, the whole Lost Voices Empire. Shout out to Her Black Hand. We all be doing the thing out there. So you know, I definitely be trying to plug my people when I can.
Please do.
Yeah, for sure.
We plug our people.
I'm telling you, we be out here working. We be working.
Oh, I know.
We be working.
Y'all be moving and traveling and whatnot.
I'm trying to tell you.
It's going.
Yeah.
How does that, like, how do you get to that point where it's like, okay, I'm on the road for a show, I'm on the road for another show, I'm on the road for another show? And is it that back to back, or like how do you find balance?
I'm gonna say, don't believe everything you see on social media. Like,
of course,
I'm gonna look at the camera and say this: don't believe everything you see on social media. But being able to travel and do what you love is nothing short of a blessing. I'm always grateful to God, because I always say, like, he could have put these talents in any other temple, but he chose this one. So I'm always grateful for that. As far as the performing in different cities aspect, I think that just comes with like networking and just doing good business with people. Like I mean, of course, I had already been like navigating and performing in different cities like prior, but ever since like kind of me and Suave got locked in, it's just really been in a gold season. Like we just get blessed with doors and opportunities, and the fact that me and him both kind of share the same like wavelength when it comes to this artistry. We just both are like opportunists, and when we see an opportunity, we just not afraid to get it. But really, it's just showing up to a city. To be honest with you, a lot of cities that I go to, I've already been there once, whether it's for an open mic or some type of event. And when I go there, I perform as if they paid me to go there. And based off that strength alone, it always gets me a future booking. They're like, you know what? I don't know what this guy did, but we need him back in our city. So
I feel that.
And it just goes by that, and a person to tell a person, and a person to tell another person. But especially in new areas, you have to be willing to like take that chance on yourself as an artist. Like, no, it's not beneficial for me to go to a different city, you know, that I'm not getting paid for, and perform on a platform where, you know, but I believe in myself, and I believe in my vision, and I believe that like my craft and my artistry is enough for people to see like, oh, he has something special about him. You know what I'm saying? So
that's what's up. Do you ever get nervous?
You said what?
Do you ever get nervous?
I get nervous listen, I performed in front of the high school students today, and I was nervous before, and it took me a minute to like shake it off once I got into the poem. But I don't know, I'm nervous about it just because like I love it, and it's like every time I do it, it doesn't feel like the first time, but it feels like something close to it. It's still new. Like every time I do it, like I still fumble through pieces that I've known for like 4 years. Like, you know, poems I've known for 3 years. I still fumble through them, you know, sometimes. So it's like, and it reminds me that I'm human.
Yeah,
most definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not perfect.
Man,
I'm not gonna sit there and tell you like no.
Play it off well.
In fact, I probably messed up a lot of times in front of you. You just probably didn't even notice.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I trust myself. Like I trust myself. I trust myself enough to know that when I fall, I'm gonna get back up. It's in my character. Like I could, even if I wanted to stay down on the ground, I couldn't. It's just not of me.
I don't know if it was one of them reality shows with Diddy. I think it was the whole Danity Kane. And I can't remember the boy group, but
B2K.
No. Oh gosh.
Oh, you talking about?
It was the one with Danity Kane. Yeah.
It's gonna come to me.
I'm gonna have to look it up, but I think they were on the stage and he had them like trying to perform, and he purposely had people in the back making a whole bunch of noise to try to distract them.
Right.
And he kept them like, "You don't stop." And so I could see how it is a distraction, and sometimes like I might forget a little bit. That's why I say I'm a visual learner, because I have to visualize where it is on the page. But it's like, don't stop. I try not to anyway.
Because it's like, you forget, but to who though? Only to you.
True. That's true.
Like,
that's true.
Okay, well, I did an invitational slam. I got invited to my first invitational slam, I think a month or so ago. And I was doing pretty good. In the last round, I do this piece that I do all the time, my memory piece. And I get 30 seconds into the memory piece and I forget it.
Ooh.
I literally like can't remember anything else. So what I do, I just start over. But the fact that it's a poem about memory and like memory loss, it just added to the element. But little did the crowd, but it got so repetitive where I was starting to lose the crowd. I could feel it, and I finally remembered it. But I just was like in my head when I started it and forgot it, I had committed to the decision. Okay, we just gonna start over, and I was gonna start over every time until I got it.
I ain't even mad at
it. Right.
Do what you gotta do. Wow, that's what's up.
Yeah.
So how do you go about writing in the first place? Like, I know some people have a process like, oh yeah, I sit with classical music or whatever, and it's just like everybody has a process though.
Ooh, my writing process is ugly. It is chaotic. It has no structure.
Same.
It's really whatever brings me inspiration. Like, I don't have like a writing corner or a specific writing book or a time or a specific pen or anything. Like, I've got inspiration from eating some Starbursts. I've got inspiration sitting in Chick-fil-A. Like, I've got inspiration from being present with other artists. Like, one of the spaces where I get the most inspiration is talking to Nick. Like, me and Nick get so much inspiration where we have this phrase where we say, like, we'll say something and we'll be like, write that down. Like write that down. Like, and then we'll laugh and be like, no, seriously, like, pull something out. You need to write that down, because that's how our conversation is. And I think that's another thing of going back to me performing in different places. I surround myself with good people. Like, I always had a good quality when it came to picking like who I want to surround myself around. And the people around me want to see me eat, and I want to see the people around me eat. So
that's it right there.
Right.
I feel it though. Yeah, I try to draw inspiration. I try to draw inspiration from a lot of things. Sometimes it just don't happen. But at the same time, I'm really hard on myself with that. I gotta stop that, because sometimes I'll criticize. I literally have a poem where I start with, I criticize myself for not being able to write when I haven't even picked up the pen.
I heard a dope poet say this. Matter of fact, it was Breeze. He did I remember the first time I saw Breeze, he was doing a set at Bull City, and it was just dope. He was dope, and he was talking about how he had learned, or somebody had told him or something, that writer's block isn't a real thing. That as artists, the material we write is represented through our perspective. So whenever we have writer's block, all we have to do is alter our perspective. So I think I have writer's block because I can't look at this laptop and receive inspiration when all I really need to do is like look at this microphone or look at this book or something, and then I can receive inspiration that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I be trying. I'll just be writing. To be honest with you, I just be writing. This is the first thing to come off the top of the dome. I write it.
That's nothing wrong with that, because that's your process. You know, like, and like I said before, like who is anyone to tell you that your process is wrong or not your process? You know, like my chaotic process. Somebody may look at that like, oh nah, I can never write like that. Like, you know, matter of fact, a lot of times when I go to workshops, I can't really write really well.
I do struggle sometimes in workshops. I don't know why. I guess because I'm not used to writing on the spot. It's like, okay, here's your prompt. You got, 10 minutes to write this or whatever. And I know that if I don't finish, I can always finish later, but I'm a one-shot I like to write in one shot
that perfectionist, right?
But yeah, it's like usually with a 10-minute time span, I'm sitting there for at least 3 minutes just staring at the notebook.
Really?
When in a workshop, yeah.
Sometimes I learned this too. Like, it's never good to battle your own thoughts against thoughts. So sometimes, even if you don't know what to say, like write that. Right, I don't know what to say. Really, and I'm serious though, because it's like, if you're creative, then it's like everything you create is a result, and it's up to you to assess the result, right? But you have to have a result to assess first.
True.
And a lot of times people are like, nah, we don't want that, but it's like, put it out first, then start critiquing it.
Okay, I feel that. I'm learning.
No, I mean, listen, I'm just giving you advices that things that I had to learn all the way, because I'm real good about battling thoughts against thoughts. Yeah,
I think, and I started this like a couple years ago, maybe 2021, when I actually started writing again, because I went from like 2013 to 2021 not really writing at all. I just had to get to the point where it was like, first thing that come to my head, just write.
Yeah.
Just write.
Really?
And even with like my music, so just write, scratch it out later.
Right.
And 9 times out of 10, I don't scratch it out.
And you never know, like what you write in this season may be applicable in the next season. You know, timing is everything. That's how I learned about that timing.
Yeah. Whatever you say. So, Mr. Poetic Zae, you got another piece you want to share with the people?
I do got another piece I want to share with the people.
What you want to share with the people?
This piece is entitled Permission. In Detroit, Michigan, there's a service known as extreme kidnapping. Clients pay about $1,500 for the service of, you guessed it, being kidnapped. Prior to being taken, they select the nature of torture they would like to receive. These choices include being gagged, held in bondage, waterboarded, stunned, even suspended from the ceiling. The participant is given a safe word to opt out of the service whenever they choose, and all of this is perfectly legal. The first thought that passed my brain when I read this was, this that white people shit. But no, really though, maybe this idea seems so far-fetched because my people go missing every day and no one says a damn thing. They go missing in their trauma, in their depression, on dark alleys, on late nights, go missing by standing, reaching, jogging, breathing, eating in the crib or in public, go missing just by breathing, y'all, and all America does is go blind. Refuses to read the people's language of Braille, yet advocates for an equal writing system. Why in the hell would I advocate for a traumatic experience? When I'm traumatized each time I turn on the news, it is a constant reminder that breath in this black body is a gift, a divine blessing, living scripture, walking testimony. Like every day on social media, I don't see another black queen go missing, if I have to be honest. Discovering the existence of extreme kidnapping comes to no surprise, because let's not forget, America is the most notorious kidnapper in history. In her free time, she enjoys stealing land, people, and resources, but loves robbing from this black body. America has been robbing this black body for over 400 years without permission. She stole our culture and called it trendy, our language and called it slang, and whenever there's a group of us that advocates against us, she labels us a gang, tells us that the Black Panther Party was America's greatest threat, but forgets to admit the truth that they were founded on principles of self-defense. From her, America throws tear gas at you, then uses your tears to gaslight you to freedom. Like, here, try equity on for size. Don't it look good in that black body of yours? No, you can't afford this price of freedom. I swear this country just don't get it. My niggas don't desire for extreme kidnapping. Don't desire new methods of torture or fear, because being black in a white society is torture enough. I fear each time I hear a siren in the distance. I fear each time I fear each time I hear a siren in the distance. I fear each time an officer asks for my license and registration. I fear each time I wear a hoodie and I mind my business, because being black isn't a justifiable cause for me to get the hashtag sentence. I fear America, because torture of the black body is the only language she speaks. So no, I would never understand why someone would pay for extreme kidnapping when the old methods have been working for years.
Whoo. Woo.
And I messed up. I want you to keep that in there too. I want you to keep that in there.
Listen, I will.
I want you to keep that in there because, hey, artists are capable of making mistakes too, man. Even me.
No, that poem was dope.
I appreciate that.
I want to say the first time I heard that was at Swab Slam. I think.
Really?
I think that was the first time I heard it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that piece was dope.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. You know, the last piece I gotta end on some type of love. So I'm trying to decide before you get to the chance.
Do what you feel.
She say that, but in her head, she already got a poem she knows she want to hear.
I got a couple. I don't know what they call, but no.
Probably,
No. Do what you feel.
If I can guess one, is one of the Music Soul Child poem?
Yeah. Yeah. I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, don't do it for me. Do what you listen. So
see
lately,
now you're gonna have the people wondering through the whole podcast like why
you brought it up.
They're gonna be like, why you ain't had Zae do the Music Soul Child poem?
I mean, cause lately I've been in this space where it's like I have to do what I feel in that moment. Because it was a couple word plays ago. This was before October, so not when I was a feature, but I think it was when Kia was a feature. I got up there, and it was not therapeutic. And normally, every open mic I go to, it's therapeutic to sit there, and it's therapeutic to get up. And I got no therapy that night. Also, that was during the time when I could not write. But I think I wasn't feeling it in that moment, and that's why I didn't enjoy it. And so ever since then, I'm like, I have to do what I feel in that moment, regardless of what anybody wants to hear from me.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
So yeah, do what you feel.
I appreciate that. You give me that space to just be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And speaking of open mics, I heard you got one.
Yes, I do host an event.
Yeah, he does.
It is the last Wednesday of every month. This month it'll be on November 29th. I don't know when this event will air. And the event in December, I'm trying to get it on the 20th, y'all. So December 20th, November 29th. This month, so what it is the Wine Bar here, the Sipper Room. I'm partnering with them and doing kind of like an open mic / poetry night the last Wednesday of every month. And we've been doing this since about July. So it's been pretty cool. It's a dope venue, dope vibe, dope energy. Having dope artists come through and present their piece and their artistry to people, and it's been dope. This month on November 29th, I will have the first ever Word and Wine Slam, and that's gonna be dope. So it's gonna be our first ever poetry slam. Hopefully this amazing host of this spectacular radio show host registers for the slam. She still got time, y'all. She still got time to register. So
I'm undecided.
We would definitely love for you to be a part of it. Whether even if it's not as a competitor, if you just want to come to the audience, but I feel like we would love to see you.
I might do it just to push myself.
The people would love to see you perform, and you know it too. So
by the people he means him, but it's cool. Yeah.
Also, I think it will be dope. I'm not gonna tell you who are the other people that are in the slam.
Please don't.
No,
I don't need that kind of anticipation.
No, not anticipation like that. But if you knew, you would want to get in it even more because it's like that's what I'm saying. When the slam comes and y'all see who win it, y'all gonna be like, I should have got in it.
Hey, tell me one person. You can tell me after this.
Okay.
I just want to know one.
Okay, I'll say one person. Suave the Poet.
I knew it. I freaking knew it, man. I don't want to slam against it.
and it's crazy because now he has to do it because I said his name in this. So if this airs and Suave didn't do the slam, but yeah. So that's one poet for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm undecided, but honestly, I probably will.
I mean, hey, listen, all I'm trying to do is put some money in your pocket. But if you don't want to take it,
I gotta win for that.
Hey, listen,
but
you're right.
in this
particular
one, I probably won't try to win. I'm gonna just do it to push myself, because I really want to work on memorization.
That's real.
So I got, week or two to work on that, and trying to figure out what I want to slam with. So
That's real.
I probably will.
I think intention is very good when you get in the slam. Like, you don't have to get in the slam to win, but you can get in the slam and win with something. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about what you come to slam for.
Absolutely.
You know, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the sip room himself.
Yeah, the sip room, you know, we got an event coming up on December 17th called Soulful Sunday. It'll be a Sunday elegant mingle brunch experience. You know, we'll have a live band, we'll have comedians, we'll have some poetry, you know, some interactions and engagements. So be on the lookout for that event. That event is gonna be really dope. And the way we projecting it is those tickets are gonna sell fast because there are booths and tables you can reserve. So it's gonna be at a soul food restaurant. It's gonna be a full brunch experience, and you know.
What time is it?
You said what?
What time?
It might. What it's looking like now is it might be like an all day brunch event. So it might like start at 12, and we only may function like do the event from like 1 to 3 or 4, but we got the space from like 12 to 6.
Wow.
Yeah. So you know that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be an event. So that's something you definitely don't want to miss. December 17th, Heart and Soul, Soulful Sundays.
All you had to do was
Poetic
Zae,
Suave the Poet, live poets, comedians. Come on, what more could you ask for? You know.
Yeah. Okay.
If you're looking for an elegant mingle experience, you know, and along with the brunch factor and soul food, and you like a live band, you know, come on now.
That
like,
part. That's
the aesthetic is gonna
now.
be there. The aesthetic is gonna. All you gotta do is show up. You know, buy your ticket, reserve the table. You know, and if you want more information, you can always follow me at Poetic Zae, Poetic Zae, forever known for speaking these words so poetic. I'm trying to tell you.
And he's gonna post it in the group. Poetry in Fayetteville.
And I'm gonna post it in the group for sure.
Okay, so earlier you mentioned something about workshops.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to do workshop.
You know,
stop playing with me and do one.
You are not the first person to do. Honestly, I don't know how I would do a workshop. Workshop seems so organized.
Yeah.
And my writing process is, if I did a workshop, it would literally be a lot of artists in the space, and we would just be talking like this, communicating, and then we'd probably have a segment where we like had a topic we could talk about, and then we wrote about, and then we shared our writing, and then shared different perspectives off the writing too.
I'd be cool with that.
Okay. All right.
I mean, talking things out is how
I may do something like this, like a writing workshop in this living room or something like, you know.
Somebody gotta talk.
Somebody told me, someone's like, you could get a live workshop and just tell people to pay $5 and people would tune in. I was like,
absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, but do me this favor.
What's up?
You do 2 workshops.
Okay.
You do 1 workshop, whatever you want to do, and then you do a workshop for love poetry. You gotta feed my inner love poet.
Okay. You know what? That's actually a dope idea. Okay.
Or love and eroticism. Either way.
Okay.
You gotta feed my inner love poet now.
Okay. I got you.
I have a problem. I
got you.
Y'all on YouTube, don't follow me on Instagram because I have a problem. Like 90% of my stuff is love poetry.
I mean, that's not a problem. Listen, love make the world go around.
Listen. Yes, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, I need to know about this.
Okay. We gonna. I got a vision board. I got a vision board of ideas. We either gonna put that on there, and we gonna highlight that. When they got a pen in it, that's.
I don't even care if it's virtual. I do virtual workshop. I go to virtual workshops.
Man,
I know it's not the same.
I think it would honestly the factor whether if it was virtual or in person would depend on how many people signed up for the workshop.
I got you.
Yeah.
I'll be looking for one soon.
Okay.
It ain't gotta be love. I'll be looking for one.
Okay, so when I put up a flyer and stuff, you better be sharing it.
Absolutely. I got you. Okay. I got you. All you gotta do is text me. Hey, listen, I'm about to post this right now. Get on it.
Heard.
I got you. Okay. All right. Y'all be sure not to go anywhere. We still here with Poetic Zae. Yeah. This is show 42. I'm still your girl, the official melody. Y'all keep it locked. We will be back.
I'm trying to tell you. Saying she broke my heart doesn't describe it enough. So instead, I say that she shattered my love. She fractured my pure intentions. Sprang the only good ligament of loyalty I had left. Now all my heart knows is survival. My heart can't tell the difference between a joke and a jab to the ego. It no longer searches for understanding. Relaxation is only in the midst of familiar faces. Know me and her have been down this road before. Something about her presence is so unfamiliar. If only I could board some fabuloso and cleanse this house of a body, maybe, just maybe, I could forget about you. But then again, it's hard to forget someone when you still leave traces of them behind. The other day I opened my closet. I found your jacket. I closed it in the same breath, hoping this was a prank. But the only joke was me, a fool of a man abandoning the only woman that never attempted to change him, that allowed him to be his most authentic self and never attempted to camouflage me with the patterns of her past. See, I thought of you the other night, and it struck me I would no longer hear the sweet song of your voice calling me baby. I didn't just lose a lover, but I lost a best friend, and it's driving me half crazy. I know I can't sing it as well as Brian McKnight, but I wonder, do I ever cross your mind? Now that you've reached a level of success we both knew you conquer, an accumulated income and big amount of massive numbers, I wonder, are you lonely? What is it like to gain everything you desired, but abandoned by the only one your heart desires? Tell me, does it hurt? Knowing that you broke the only man to love you for your worth way before it was defined by assets and connections, before your body had finished curving out all its edges, you know, the man that listened, the one that paid attention and always dedicated to making sure you felt protected, provided without a question or an invitation. Do you remember on your birthday, you was eating Hawaiian bread, yet even from states away, I decided to send you food from DoorDash instead. Maybe it slipped your mind. The times I took the extra way just to make sure you smile, like the time we walked into the gas station, but I came back out with your favorite sweets. You looked at me smiling, shaking your head in disbelief. You said you couldn't believe I remembered, but honestly, how could I forget? Who made sure to hit them angles when you wanted to show off on the gram, but now, since you burned the bridge between us, I wonder, do you feel the disconnect? I bet she rarely ever thinks of me, y'all. But I barely cross her mind. I bet these poems make me seem desperate and perspective one-sided, but I wonder, could my thoughts be incorrect? What are her thoughts when she thinks of me, thoughts of lovers or as friends? Because what good is it for a woman to gain the whole world but lose her soulmate in the end? So tell me, please, please tell me, do I ever cross your mind?
I think that was the first poem I ever heard by you.
Really?
I think so.
Really?
I think
that
so.
That says a lot. That was the first one. I remember when I
so.
first wrote that, it was my favorite. Like, I just couldn't get enough of that. Yeah.
I mean, I think all your stuff is dope, but
I appreciate
like,
it.
oh, he did that one.
Yeah, that was definitely one of my favorites.
And it was that wordplay. I know that for a fact. That was when I heard it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Probably. Yeah, that sounds definitely accurate.
Hey, Brian McKnight.
Yeah, you know, I'm a neo-soul heart, to the heart. A lot. Like, yes.
Night music. So I like when people can reference artists and song lyrics in their poetry, like with Nick, the "Can We Talk" line.
Yeah. That Tevin Campbell kind of put my sports in Kevin Campbell. Yeah.
And I'm such a music head. Like I try to do it. I don't force it though. But when people can do that and twist it in a way, and it's I just be like, man, I'm trying to be like that when I grow up, for real.
Yeah, I feel that. I don't know. Music has always been an element of my life, like my culture. Like, music is my upbringing, you know. So, poetry is music to me. It's my favorite song. Like, you know. So, so I don't know. Like, I listen to good poets like their music. Like, when a poet is going in, I'm like, this is my favorite part on the track. Like, turn the beat up. When I say go in, poet, that's me saying turn it up. Like, yeah, this is my song.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. I might have to write that down.
Please write that down. That was very poetic.
Yeah,
write that down. Yeah,
man.
okay, I can see that. I guess, like, I differentiate the two because I do write songs. So it's like two different processes for me. Like I can't freestyle a poem to save my life, but if I hear a beat, I can freestyle some lyrics into singing and write it down later. Yeah. I go about them in the same way as far as like I write the first thing that comes off the top of my head, but as far as structure, I don't structure my poems. I don't structure them, but I'll structure my songs.
Yeah.
So it's I have to kind of differentiate.
What works for you works for you. You know.
That's dope though.
Yeah.
Poetry is music. Maybe I need to think like that.
Maybe.
So, what do you wish to accomplish with your poetry? I mean, because you're already dope, so you've already accomplished it.
You know what? I appreciate that. True. Honestly, me personally, like, I feel like I'm knocking at the door of my potential, but I hadn't even kicked it down yet. Really? Like, I hadn't even got in the house. I'm not even at the table. Like, I'm still knocking at the door. And only because I know how much I can sound like and how I know I knew you. So, like, I mean, I'm proud of myself at this level, but I'm not satisfied. I'm not. But I want my poetry to be bigger than my vision. And I don't want poetry to be the opportunity. I want poetry. I don't want poetry to be the table. I want poetry just to be the room. And like, there can be a lot of tables in the room. You know what I'm saying? Poetry just may be an invitation to me to get in the mood or an avenue to me to navigate something. But I just don't want to navigate just poetry. But I want poetry to exist and embody throughout everything that I do. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's right.
Yeah. I think me being poetic it's just my nature, you know. It isn't an element that I utilize, but it's just a part of who I am. Like, and I own that wholeheartedly. Like, I love that about myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any like specific goals, like just for 2024, just off the top of my head? As far as like
knock out these events. Me and my boy Suave, we've been working crazy. We meet like Sundays are guaranteed days, but we already meet throughout the week. But Sundays, we sit down Sunday and we literally plan the whole week. And I feel like you never really know what you're capable of, or you never really know like how dedicated you can be towards your vision or goal until you have somebody that is just as dedicated as you to your goal. Because now you look at it, because instead of looking at projects and seeing like, dang, I need this, you look at the projects like it's no excuses. Like, it's two of us here.
Right.
So, but if I can't find a way, the two of us need to put both of our heads together, and we need to find a way, you know, especially because it's like, especially working with somebody who like me and him, we don't really use like our language. We use we language, like, you know, because it's like, I don't know, it just being in good company of people who like I've been in places and it's like my friends don't have to get on the stage to get an opportunity. Like, they look at being in the room as an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And that aspect alone, surrounding yourself with people who are not selfish with the spotlight. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's enough to eat. That's enough in this world and in this artistry for everyone to eat, for everyone to get a piece of the pie. And when you surround yourself by people who have that same likeness, like, the opportunity just running, because you're chasing the purpose and not the payment.
Purpose over. Well, LJ says purpose over popularity. Yours is gonna be purpose over payment.
Yeah. You know, we still want our coins though. You know.
Absolutely.
But it's like the moment you do it with intention of chasing the coins, like you've already corrupted your true nature. So. Yeah.
I'm trying to make my hashtag purpose over winning.
Okay. Purpose over winning. I like
winning
that.
slams.
Okay.
Clarify that.
You need to put that on the shirt. That could actually be dope.
I gotta give LJ the credit for that hashtag.
Listen, hey, if you don't put it on the shirt, you're gonna be mad when you see somebody else put it on the shirt.
You know what? It's okay. It's all right.
You know, it'd be like
I'm
that.
pushing everything through overseas dreams, so it's all good.
Okay,
it's the best radio show
listen,
on Earth space.
I'm believing in overseas dreams. You know, like,
listen, I appreciate you.
Yeah, most definitely. So, you know, later on down the line, if y'all want to have me back, you know, I would love to. Spin the block. I would love to spin the block.
Come on now.
I would love to spin the block. You know, we already gonna speak into existence that
That's
this is gonna be the most viewed episode too.
Hey.
Hey, that's called manifestation right there.
I'm with it.
That's all.
I'm all the way with it.
Life and death, power of the tongue. I'm trying to tell you.
That's right.
That's what. See, this is what Overseas Dreams is about. Where you come get poetry, wisdom. We gonna talk our junk, and you gonna get some of the word. Like, what more could you ask for here? You know. And we gonna get our laughs in. I'm trying to tell you.
This man is foolish. So you were on the Bull City Slam team.
I was on the Bull City
You
Slam.
were.
Yeah,
And I saw you in a group piece. It's like saying a group piece. And it was a dope group piece at that.
Hold on. I'm not gonna lie. I was expecting for you to say a lot of things. I was not expecting you to bring up Bull City. But yes, I was in group piece. I was in a couple group pieces with Bull City. 1, 2.
I remember the one at the scrimmage was about like masculinity.
Oh yeah.
That one was
the pause poem. Yeah, pause. Me and LB had a group piece, Asphyxiation. Me, Dasan, and Tamia had a group piece, Jealous Liquor, that we never got to perform. Yeah. So those were my 3. Yeah.
So what was it like at Southern Fried? Like I got Keith's version. I want your version. Cause I know it was dope.
Southern Fried.
I know it's an experience.
There's something really special about Southern Fried. Like the ability for artists of basically the same artistry kin folk to like gather in one area is incredible. Like you feel inspiration just being in the space of it, because it's like all these talented poets are in one area, which is really rare. Like it'd be hard to get poets to connect when in your own city, you know? Yeah. So when you can get poets to travel from all over the country to meet in one general area just to embody the spirit of what it means to exist in the artistry of poetry, like it's big. It's big and it fills every room. The whole city just, even the people who host it in their city, they say that like when Southern Fried is there, the city has a different atmosphere. And it really is. It's something that I encourage every poet to experience, like not just as a competitor, but just like how you say, like everybody needs to go to Disney World once. Everybody needs to go to Southern Fried like once, like, you know, even if you have some friends, you guys just want to make it a group trip, like Southern Fried was incredible.
I can imagine.
Yeah,
and it seems like it's probably a whole vibe.
Right, and being there with Bull City was an experience in its own because, you know, I was on a team with, you know, the OGs of, you know, what we know as slam poetry. You know, like people who have been doing this and do it very well at a very expert level. So to be surrounded by greatness like that, even like to me, like her being like young but still being like molded in that same likeness, like she still welcomed me with open arms to the team. They all did. So yeah, it was an experience for real. It was one that I was open to and I jumped into wholeheartedly. And what's crazy is like the whole, even me getting on the Bull City team was just an experience in itself. So of course, like, you know, Bull City does the qualifying rounds.
Yeah, they got a lot of slams just to get on it.
Right. And then they have like a grand slam, and it's like the people who win the qualifiers, they compete against each other at the end to see who makes the team, right? So I made it to the grand slam, the qualifier round to see who was going to be on the team, but I didn't place in the top 5 to get ranked on the team. I have like, I want to say like a month or 2 had passed, because by this team, like Bull City already had a team. My flight was supposed to land on the day Detour had their slam, but my flight got delayed, which made me miss the slam. Ooh. Right, because I was supposed to slam in the Detour slam, but my flight got delayed, so I ended up missing the slam. So everybody was trying to push me to go to Southern Fried Indy, and I was like, that's just not what I wanted to do. Like, I would rather just go and observe than just go as an indie, because I just didn't feel. Yeah, so But powers that be happened, and next thing I know, like Bull City reached out and they were like, hey, there's a position for you on this team if you really want it. And it was really crazy because like they really could have chosen anybody, but for some reason they reached out to me, and it was
Sorry, you're a dope.
I mean, it was really close. Like when they reached out to me, it was really close to Southern Fried, where like I kind of knew, like, one, I knew who Bull City was and the name they carried for themselves, and I knew how close it was to Soul Fried, and I knew like the kind of mindset I would have to go into, just because I knew I was gonna be with vets too, so it was gonna be a different. Because I had been like kind of like curated by Detour for the past couple of years, so I knew that Bull City was gonna be a complete different element, and it was. But I feel like it was just very much a necessity. Like I gained so much from them and watching these people who have been doing this and do it at an expert level, just maneuver through their craft and just paying attention to the detail. And they really allowed me to be myself too, like let me present the poems that I had and navigate me, allow me to find my own voice. So yeah, shout out to Bull City. Bull City.
That's what's up though. Yeah, I've thought about that question. Like, okay, if I really wanted to go, would I go as an Indian? It's like, for me personally, no. No, I think at least at this stage in my life, I need that team accountability. That support, that creativity, that motivation, the inspiration that comes just from being around other poets.
You still get that though in a sense when you go to Southern Fried, because it's like,
yeah.
It's like we have fun during the day, but at night we competing. Yeah, some of them, some and really intense poets, they compete the whole 4 days. Like wake up, drinking a cup of competition in the morning. Like that's what they do. But me, I just listen. It's gonna be what it is,
Yeah.
So
that's what's up though. Shouts to you for making the team and going to Southern Fried.
I appreciate it. It was a process, but I'm grateful for it.
Absolutely.
Grateful, yeah.
So, did you have another one you wanted to do, or?
I'm gonna leave it to the host. Whatever the host want. If the host wants for the people, then But I'm cool where we're at. It's what do you want?
Put it on the host, and you called me out earlier.
I know.
All right, well, the host says, go ahead, don't tease the people with music soul child, give them music soul child.
I knew she was going to say that. All right. This how we going to start this last piece. Dun 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 dun. Hey, dun. Hey, hey. So the great music soul child once said, I'm not trying to pressure you, but I just can't stop thinking about you, and you ain't even really gotta be my girlfriend. But I just want to know your name, and maybe sometime we can hook up, hang out, and chill. But it's on you though, Queen. See, I don't know your name. So would you mind if I called you Forever? Because the moment our eyes connected, I felt time stand still. And before you brush me off as another dude running game, I like to make my intentions clear. It's day if you just let me explain. Something tells me that you've been invested in men that don't deserve you for so long that it's made your love sick. So let me be the one to give you the remedy you want. A respectful nigga with disrespectful. And I know that was kind of out of pocket. But when I saw you, something in me ignited, and now I'm hooked. I just had to say something bold to capture your attention, but if you're uninterested, I'll understand and respect it. I won't call you out your name just because I got rejected. I won't hide my intentions and say we could be just friends because that would be a lie. I won't settle for a hookup because you're emotionally unavailable, or be cool being your BUDDY because I refuse to compromise you. You've done that far too many times on your own. And I know everybody ain't a fan of my poetic cadence, but believe me when I say that I want to give you an eternity, but I can't. So I guess I have to settle for a long relationship, and even longer relations. We can chill. No Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, or Prime. Instead, I want to dissect every square inch of your brain and know I'm not Kate Camp, but I want to know what's on your mind. I want to ask you things like what's more valuable: love, money, power, respect, or time. I want to hear you venting about that girl at work that had you fucked up when she lost her rabbit ass mind. I want to wipe the tears before they ever leave your eye and protect you from anything that'll make you cry. I want to know the real you. The you that wakes up in the morning before you brush your teeth. The you that gets an attitude when you go on all day without something to eat. I want to understand you at your worst so I can appreciate you at your best and do things you never had done to you before, like give you loyalty and reassurance. Teach me the real you so I can factor it into the equation and fuck a 2 weeks notice. I want to be the reason you get the street show resignation. We can travel the world together or chill at the crib like we both on probation. As long as I'm with you, woman, I'll do whatever you say. Matter of fact, you can be my knee alone, and I'll be your living state. Basically, I'm saying we can have a Love Jones, and I'll be your brother tonight, blindly pursuing you like you my prey. See, woman, when our eyes connected, it was the first time my heart learned how to fly. And now I feel the concept of ever being bound to the ground. I knew before you, we only glanced at each other briefly. But in his days, I saw our future. The kingdoms our love would build. I saw you teach our children how to love themselves first so that they wouldn't have to question what real love is. Now, the past before you seems empty and docile, a place I refuse to live in. But I also know that you think I was crazy if I just walked up to you and said all these things. So instead, I'll introduce myself and ask for your number and your name. I've been Poetic Zae. This is Overseas Radio Show, kicking it with my girl Mel. I appreciate y'all having me. Thank you.
That man's so dope. That man's so dope. Lorenz Tate in the building.
Hey, yo.
Listen, you said it.
Hey, yo, chill. Not Lorenz Tate. Yo, that's what I need to be next Halloween. Who am I?
Lorenz, yeah.
Talk that talk, honey. Walk that walk, money.
So y'all heard it. This man is super, super dope.
Appreciate it. I appreciate
not
it.
Not only as a love poet.
Right.
Because I've heard other stuff.
Right.
And you did a different poem.
I appreciate that.
But no, just dope. You know, you have a certain style about you.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously how you write and also how you perform. Just dope.
I appreciate it.
Around.
I definitely do. I appreciate you curating this space. Appreciate you allowing me to be a part of it. I appreciate this being the most viewed episode. Look, Mel weak because I'm gonna keep saying it till it happens, and she know me too. She know I'm on. Watch. She really weak because she gonna be laughing when she like, wow, this is really the most watched video.
I mean,
so, yeah, you know.
Listen, and I keep you updated on it. I try not to pay attention to the numbers.
No, definitely let me know. But I definitely want to appreciate this. I just want to let you know I appreciate this and appreciate this platform, this opportunity, and I appreciate you. Keep doing this. Keep pouring into the artists, and the artist gonna pour into you, and this art gonna pour back into you for real. So. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. And where can people follow you?
Y'all can follow me at Poetic Zae on all platforms. Writer, editor, workshop facilitator, curator, poet, spoken word artist, content creator. You know, we wear many hats around here. But if you want to just keep up with me and any and all things at Poetic Zae. Thank you.
It's the man himself. And y'all be sure to tune in next month and every month on FarsideTV.com, Mixcloud, Twitch, Twitter, all them channels, everything. Right. Every Friday and Sunday evening of the month. And be sure to wake up the ones sleeping on you, because they will wake up. Listen, they will wake up. They will wake all the way up.
I know, right? And if they sleeping on you, let them stay asleep. You don't got to prove to them nothing.
Well, there you go. There you go. Until next time.
All right.
Y'all be blessed.
Y'all be blessed.
Peace.